Dear learners, I hope all of you are fine. I am also fine. Dear learners, I hope always you are staying home in safe and sound. You know about the panic situations of COVID-19. I hope always you are staying at home. Please don't go out in these situations and try to follow the advice of your parents and seniors, dear learners, and you try to follow the rules of health, and always you try to keep touch with your book and continue your study staying home, because we are going to give you class in YouTube and our websites. You try to follow the class, and every day we are submitting of classes in YouTube. Dear learners, I hope if you follow the class and continue and practice this staying home, you will not lag behind. And for these reasons, you try to practice and follow our class. If you face any problem, please contact us. We will try to solve your problem. Dear learners, the last sessions I taught you transformation of sentence of simple, complex, and compound. Today I am going to give you a class on degree or comparison of adjective. And few days ago also I gave you a class on this topic in a single rule. Today I am going to show you another rule. I hope you will follow my class, and if you follow the class, it will be easy for you to change positive to comparative, comparative to into superlative, superlative into comparative, and superlative into positive. I will try to show you the rules easily to make you understand. Dear learners, look at the board and follow me. You can see here the comparison of adjective. There are three parts: positive, comparative, and superlative. In positive, if you have very few, in superlative comparative form, you will have to write CF means comparative form after subject and verb. Then you write here then, most other, or then few other. You can write one of them. In superlative forms, you will have to write here subject and verb, then one of the, then SF. SF means superlative forms. So if you have very few in positive, at the time of changing into comparatives, you will have to use subject, then verb, then comparative form of adjective. Then you will have to write then most other, or then few other. Dear learners, then at the time of changing into superlative form, if you have very few in positive or in comparative, then most other or then few other, then you will have to take subject, then verb, then you will have to use one of the then superlative form of adjective. Dear learners, let's practice this. So stay with me. I am writing on the board and follow me. very few animals in the world are as useful as the cow. Dear learners, you can see here there is very few. So if you have very few, at the time of changing into comparative forms, you will have to take the subject, the cow. Then you will have to write verb is. Then you go to the rules. CF comparative form useful will be more useful. Then you can write most, then most other, or then few other. You can write one of them. Then you write anything else in the word, the word you have after beautiful. The learners, the very few animals in the words are as useful as the cow. So you will have to write the cow is more useful than most other animals in the world. Dear learners, here at the time of changing, you can see that I have used here instead of very few. If you have very few, then most other. Then more useful than most other animal. So you can see that I have used here than most other. Instead of very few, if you have very few, then you will have to use here most other. Also comparative form. Then no other. If you have here like this, then at the time changing into comparative, the cow is one of the most useful animal world. The cow is one of the most useful animal in the world. You can see here that I have written here one of the. I have used here one of the because there is very few in positive and then most other in comparative. So I have to use it. Dear learners, I hope all of you have understood it clearly. I'm going to make you understand it. If you have very few in positive, then you will have to use comparative subject, then verb, then you will follow the rules. CF is comparative form of adjective. Then you will have to use it then most other or then few other. If you have very few in positive. And at the time of changing into in superlatives, you will have to use subject plus verb, then one of the. Then I have used here one of the, then asset means comparative superlative form of adjective, most useful anyway. Then what you have after very few or then most other or few other, then you will have to use it. So sentence is that the cow is one of the most useful animals in the world. Always you will have to use here the plural form of noun after then most other, or then few other, very few, or one of the. After this you will have to use the plural form of noun. Dear learners, I am going to give you more example for you to make it clear here. Very few places in the world are as beautiful as our motherland. Very few places in the world. You can see here very few, and after very few I have written here the plural form of noun. Very few places in the world are as beautiful as our motherland. So at the time of changing to comparative, so you will have to use our motherland at first. Our motherland is when you go to the roots, our motherland is, then comparative form of beautiful will be more beautiful. Places in the world more beautiful than few other. You will go to the rules. You can write few other, then few other, or then most other. So our motherland is more beautiful than few other places in the world. Dear learners, you can see here that I have used here comparative form, more beautiful, and then I have used here few other, then few other. And after few other, you will have to use the plural form of noun. At the time in changing it into superlative forms, you will have to write our motherland is, then you go to the rules, one of the most beautiful places in world. Our motherland is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Dear learners, I hope it is clear to you. I have used here the most beautiful places. Then I have also used here one of the. I hope it is clear to you. I'm going to make you understand it again. If you have very few, then you will have to use here then few other or then most other. And in superlative forms, you will have to use here the one of the. So sentence is very few places in the world are as beautiful as our motherland. At the time changing it into comparative forms, you will have to write here our motherland is more beautiful than few other places in the world. And at the time of changing to superlative forms, you will have to write here our motherland is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Dear learners, I hope it is clear to you. And if you practice this every day, it will be more clear to you. I hope staying home always you will try to practice this. You can see here that positive and comparative, and in this type you can easily change it into comparative, or you can change it into positive, or you can change comparative form into positive or a comparative form in superlative. So I have tried to teach you at a time how to change them into in three forms, and in your exam you have frequently in one system may come in your exam. I hope this is clear to you, dear learners. You try to practice this staying home, and it will be easy to you. And every day I will try to give you other rules. So bye, keep safe and sound.